All right, everyone, it's time for session 14 of Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. In our last session, a lot of stuff happened. It was really fun. It was Eddie's birthday. And we got to do a little bit on map. We got to do a little theater of the mind, and then we got to do a little bit in 3D map and Unreal Engine, which was kind of fun. So we got a nice variety of the old, the modern, and the new. Um, Getting into the things you guys actually care about. The adventurers left the city behind, and it was a somber yet inspiring image. Calixto's resounding words of encouragement blended with the dulcet tunes of Untamed Siren, and as the group walked on towards whatever the gods had in store, anything was possible. All the cards were on the table. You dealt with the aftermath of the harrowing encounter from the undying royal dragon knights of Takesis. These were animated by the shifty essence of Chemosh. And then, after a brief rest to tend to your wounds, Aethelfled voiced her unease about Faraday's absence. Pretty natural. Tarlin, ever steadfast, agreed to help search for him. Meanwhile, Calixto's growing appetite for immortality loomed deep in his thoughts. Now, before setting out, the party stocked up on supplies and encountered a curious kindred named Kimmy. You had encountered her previously. It was, in fact, one of the very first people that you encountered in the city of Ogler, technically just outside the gates. You met Kimmy and Bimmy, the two brother sister combos, who were kinders. And they made quick friends with Jessie. Intrigued by her connection to Jessie, Calixto promised to put in a good word for her. And to brighten her spirits, he also vowed to search for that purple acorn. Curious about Jesse's whereabouts, Calixto asked if he had a favorite place, and Kimmy suggested that maybe Vogler was his favorite place, a place that holds special significance for him. With their course set for the mine beside the city, the adventurers prepared themselves, and as they delved into the abandoned tunnels, they stumbled upon a locket engraved with a stag on the front. Now, there were two things that you were after. You were after Jesse, who conveniently enough had headed towards this little mine shaft area. It's basically a cave, kind of a dugout. And you were also looking for Faraday. Conveniently, they happened to be walking the same area. And you see like some normal mining stuff, some things that are fairly mundane, and then you stumble upon this locket. It does have a stag on it, not a picture of a stag inside the locket, but an actual locket engraved on the outside of it. Now, Tarlin, you cast a magical spell, and as these words fall off your lips, you're able to converse with this person, the owner of the locket, who turned out to be a miner whose restless soul lingered in the darkness. Spirit revealed fragments of its past and spoke of descendants still living in the city, great grandchildren. And the spirit believed he wanted them to perhaps carry on the miner's legacy. With a solemn plea, the spirit requested that the locket be returned to its family, it being a token of love and a memory too precious to remain forgotten in the depths of the mine. Now, as you explored further, you discovered an old, tattered journal kind of tucked behind a pile of debris. It's more like a piece of paper, like an entry into the journal, as opposed to the actual journal itself. But it did seem to be of kind of log of sorts. Entries basically were of a bit of rambling, um, and there was some sort of obsession with something that had been taken. Though its full meaning remained unclear at the time, the journal hinted at deeper mysteries within the tunnels. Party followed two pairs of small footprints even further and delved deeper into the unknown. And not soon after, you are faced with a fork in that tunnel. Choosing one path, you pressed onwards until a distant commotion broke the silence. You went back to investigate, of course, and it was a landslide blocking your way back, inconveniently enough. But the party, undeterred, decided to move forward rather than clearing the rubble, although with the expertise of Aethelflood, it would probably only take a few hours of rigorous work, but you could do it. The path eventually led to a weathered, open chest, which is kind of odd. And it did contain one piece of paper with one word written on it. More curiously, the tracks ended at the foot of the chest. And as the party tried reading the word in other languages, different inflections, you guys heard the flapping of wings in the near distance. The party quickly reacted and he thought through some potential plans. And then Tarlin wasn't taking no bullshit and readies a fireball immediately. As these creatures appear, you could tell they're bats. They absolutely had murderous intent. Then Tarlin unleashes a devastating fireball, incinerates the creature, turns them to ash in an instant. Now, the party stood amidst the ashes next to this chest, and Calixto, that's when you were like, we really need to talk just a little bit about some of the things you've been doing. And you didn't dive into all of the complexities or all the details, but you did have a very brief discussion about some of the things that Tarlin had been doing recently. That's also when Tarlin, who was on a roll that day, realized that the word on the piece of paper was actually an anagram. With a flash of inspiration, Tarlin, you recited the word timeless. Your body then lurched forward and you found yourselves in a cave. Give me one moment. And we'll just get that a going there. I do have a map in front of you, more for the aesthetics than anything, as we continue with our recap. You found yourself in a cave, and it was pretty daunting. You're definitely not where you were, and you're kind of looking around and you realize that where you're standing is a place that was very old, most likely built during the Age of Might. There's an eeriness to it. It's calm, but despite the fact that there's no commotion, there's something very kind of deterring about this place. However, you're there to find Faraday, and you're there to find Jesse. You have every reason to believe, as you're kind of looking around on the ground, that you can see some tracks. The pair of footprints are back, and especially you, Calixto, you're determined to find Jesse. Uh, Aethelfled, you're determined to find Faraday. Tarlin, you're here for the ride, as always. Now, you do see this weird statue that stood in front of you, and on it was a journal. And as you're flipping through the pages, you're kind of discovering that it belonged to a paranoid wizard who had stolen treasures and items of unknown worth and renown from the legendary Fistendanalis. Now, Tarlin, you remember Fistendanalis is a very, very legendary name. He is a celebrity amongst the wizard community. You're not sure how many of these tales have been embellished, but you have definitely heard of Fistendanalis. He's up there with Magius, one of the most powerful wizards to have ever lived, regardless of time or era. Now, among the items described was a jeweled scepter of immense power. The wizard details how in a kind of rambling scrawl how he had stolen these items and these artifacts, um, lock after lock, key after key. The wizard's entries became increasingly erratic, filled with ramblings about unseen eyes watching him and whispers in the darkness. Madness had consumed him as he hid his treasures within the cave, leaving behind cryptic clues for anyone brave or foolish enough to find them. The party explored the upper level of the cave ever so slightly before returning downstairs. You lost the trail of Jesse and Faraday, so you definitely want to figure that whole thing out. But first, you're going to explore a little bit downstairs. With no sign of those companions, you descended to those lower levels and you explored the small alcove behind that statue. That's where you discovered a floating skull and a chest lit up by candlelight, despite the fact that nobody seemed to be around and presumably hadn't been in a very long time. There were lit candles in this area. Speaking cautiously with the skull, Tarlin, you were able to discover a good handful of details between all three of you putting your brains together, kind of filling in the pieces, you were able to figure out that you were currently in a temple that had been dedicated to Hiddekel, the god of lies and manipulation. Uh, the skull kind of taunted with riddles and half truths. He didn't truly tell you exactly what you were looking for, but he did mention that Hiddekel had killed the king. Um, that was an unsettling moment that kind of stood out. Otherwise, you didn't get a ton from this skull, um, but you were you were able to cover it with a cloth. Now, Tarlin, you did feel that this skull had some sort of ominous sort of intention. You were able to cover it with a cloth, which was the correct move. Um, we'll go into the clues here in a moment. See no evil was definitely one of them, and that's what prompted you to cover it. There were a couple other ways you maybe could have approached it, but that was one way that did succeed. As you open the chest, you discover nothing's actually inside, but behind the chest, you do see a jewel. Now, in this journal entry, the rambling wizard had mentioned that behind the chest with the jewel is horrors unspeakable. That's when you decided to pull out the little gem, reveal the wall, and go where there are horrors unspeakable. You're standing in a little hallway. There's a little water beneath your feet, and before you, you see a pile of gold, a gold chest, and two sconces that dimly light up the area. There's this unnatural kind of glow. And Aethelflid, you do approach this area while Tarlin, you, and Calixto kind of hang back a little bit. Um, there's a moment when you kind of feel this shiver run up the back of your spine, Aethelflid, and you kind of look back and you see Tarlin and Calixto just standing there, nothing's wrong. Then you look back and from the chest you do see what hadn't been there previously. Now there is a little bit of a fog or a mist that is emitting from the chest. And as you return your gaze, you begin to see materializing before you something wearing a crown, and it's beginning to take form. Currently, it looks like a cloud of sorts. And that is what brings us to our session tonight. Um, as this entity before you is starting to take form, you wish it hadn't. And all three of you are watching this like creature with like veins and muscles that reshape and reform. They're clearly ethereal, but it looks like there are claws that are just digging into this flesh, making it move over and over again. You see hollowed out eyes of a spectral kind of origin, and it is so ghastly and so horrific. All three of you can kind of feel something in the pit of your stomach. You are compelled for a brief moment to escape, to run away as quickly as possible. I need all three of you to roll wisdom saving throws, please.
I will in like 10 seconds. I realize I left my character sheet downstairs.
That's all good. You don't have it in roll 20?
I do, but my other stuff I didn't, and I already walked downstairs. I'm sorry, I'm coming.
It's okay.
Do you have a map up right now? I'm only seeing what it says Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen.
Same.
You don't see the cave intro?
No.
I guess you wouldn't know what it's called.
Presently.
Okay, here's
There we go.
this. We'll get to something else in a moment. But this will, thanks for letting me know, that will set your scene ever so slightly.
Okay. And then, I'm sorry, we're rolling wisdom saves?
Wisdom
Yeah,
saves.
saves. Did I not roll my wisdom? No, I did. Okay, perfect.
Mine is shit, so I'm fucked.
Let me see.
I rolled a good old 4.
19.
Okay. Calixto, Tarlin. You're both. You see this this ghastly figure, and you've seen a lot of things so far. You've seen dragons, you've seen draconians, you've seen creatures that won't die. You've experienced the presence of gods. What stands before you is quite intimidating. It's scary. You don't like it, but you come to your senses and you say, "We've seen worse." Aethelflaed.
He
Proximity wise, this creature is standing very immediately before you, and there's like an eminence escaping from it that kind of creeps into your soul itself. There's this twang of fear in your eye, and as you move to run away from it, I need you to roll a charisma saving throw, please.
okay. She like inhales sharply. Little do you know, in her past. 14.
Okay. Okay. So we are currently on this map at the moment. Can everyone see their tokens and the ghost? Okay.
Yeah.
Aethelflaed. As this creature tries to emanate itself inside of your very being, you can feel it tugging at your soul, trying to wrest control of your body from you. And in the corner of your eye, you see a very familiar glint shining off of the water in the bottom of at your feet there in the bottom of the hallway. And you see Faraday materialize as if he knew you were in danger. He's currently standing next to Tarlin and Calixto, so if you wouldn't mind putting him on the map for me, that would be helpful. And he kind of enters the fray, looks at you cautiously with concern, unsure of exactly what to do. And upon seeing Faraday, there's some essence of you that returns, and you are able to quell this threat. It's not able to wrestle control of your body from you. And that's when you hear a unique voice. Ah, well done. This isn't my puppet. This isn't my plaything, but it does reside in my domain. And you will recognize the voice of Chemosh. I think this may be a good time for you to learn. Just as it tried to take your body from you, take its essence from it. And you feel like it's possible. Almost like how you don't think about your heart beating or breathing. Almost as if there's some sort of muscle memory that appeared out of nowhere. And you think you might be able to will this creature into submission. Would you like to attempt to do so?
I think reflexively she probably would, yes.
Okay. I would like for you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Motherfucker. 14.
Okay.
Are we in turns?
We'll say this happens pretty instantaneously. If there's something you'd
Okay.
like to do, by all means. But this is
Well,
kind of flash
I
of
just have a
moment sort
spell
of
I would like to cast on Aethelflaed to possibly help,
Okay.
but if it does require me to move
Is
up to
it-
her and touch her. It's an action. It's not like a reaction spell or anything. So if you'd like me to wait
Okay.
until after
What's
this, protection from good and
what
evil.
spell
I
is-
want protection from good and evil.
Okay. I would say you could get closer in this brief moment, and we'll see how the rest plays out. Maybe you can get there
Sure.
just in time.
Sure.
Okay. But you are presently moving in that direction, and we'll say that at the moment you're not quite able to get there. So Aethelflaed,
This is the guy
while
that
there,
I'm sorry. This was the guy that we
I'm
met
sorry.
with the dragon. He's the one that we have to kill people for or something, right?
Are you talking about Chemosh?
Yeah.
He's the god of undeath that you made a pact with
Okay.
for potential immortality. He's the one that requested that you kill Ignia, the red dragon, and
Mm,
who has made a pact with you for the gift of eternal life in
okay.
exchange for killing um Becklin Uthiara.
Uh-huh. Okay. Thank you for refreshing my memory.
It's all good. Been a while. Yeah, so that this is the god of undeath speaking to you right now,
Yay.
willing you to take control of this undead creature, which unfortunately you try, but you don't quite muster it into existence. You're trying to will it into submission, and it doesn't quite work. However, if you would like to try one more time, you certainly could. But you start to feel lift inside of yourself and contemplate doing this one.
I tried again and failed again, but do I
Okay,
get the feeling though
Tarlin.
that this is something I'll be able to do in the future, like if I practiced, if you will?
Um, there's a lot to process in a very immediate amount of time. So while you might be hopeful that that's the case, there's nothing specifically indicating that that's possible or impossible moving forward.
Okay.
Tarlin, how does protection from good and evil work?
Basically, I choose a certain type of creature. So in this case, undead. And the basic creatures of the type of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throw against the relevant effect.
Charmed, frightened, or possessed, correct?
Yes, charmed, frightened, or possessed.
That's
Not
very handy. So you are not quite there just yet. Calixto, is there anything you would like to be doing in this brief moment? You're basically watching Aethelflid. Her eyes are kind of flickering, but they seem lifeless at the moment. You see this creature kind of staring at her in this weird sort of eye lock. They're making intense eye contact, and the creature is kind of. It seems very imposing. You're not entirely certain what's going on, but you know it can't be great.
Um, but this thing announced itself, and we like recognized it as being Chemosh.
Only Aethelflid can hear Chemosh.
Oh, so we don't know what this is?
Well, you did read the journal entry, and you did piece together that there probably were creatures or ghosts. You know, at least the wizard thought so. And then you do know that this is a temple of Hiddekel, the god of bargains and lies and greed. And the skull that Tarlin had covered that was facing the chest in the last session. Um, when he spoke with Undead with that skull, Tarlin was able to discern that there was a king who had been killed by Hiddekel.
Mm-hmm.
And this ghost in front of you has a crown on. So you can kind of piece that all together and assume that this might be some worshiper of Hiddekel. This could be the king that was referenced by that skull. You're not entirely certain.
But it's not like touching her, right? They're just making weird eye contact, and
That is correct.
her eyes are
Mhm.
like rolling back.
That is correct.
I am going to ready an action if this lasts much longer and she doesn't look good sometime quickly. I'm gonna plant my rapier in this thing's head.
Okay. Aethelflid, you are wrestling with the spirit that's in front of you, and Calixto Tarlin, you kind of notice this sort of like tug of war now. As Calixto, especially as you get closer, Tarlin, you as well. You see like this mental kind of tug of war. Calixto, you feel this weird sensation. Aethelflid, you would feel this if you weren't currently preoccupied. But you feel kind of a weird, almost like a tingling sensation, as if your limbs were returning from falling asleep. Tarlin, you don't experience that. Now, Aethelflin, you are losing this battle, and you can tell you are. And that's when Chimos speaks to your mind once more and says, "You don't know how to use your power, do you? I could help you. I could show you. Would you like that?"
She's gonna look him in the eye, and I think she's just kind of in the moment and just kind of give a nod, not even say anything, just kind of slowly nod.
It is nighttime already.
And Aethelflin, you look down,
Excellent job.
and you're not reacting presently in the moment, but you start to see just a little drop of blood from your right arm. And then you see another drop, and then another drop. And then a chunk of flesh falls off, and then you realize that your forearm and your hand are currently melting.
Well done.
The flesh begins to boil and then leak away. And now, from your elbow on,
Well done.
it's a fully functional hand. You're kind of moving your limbs around, but it's just bone. There's no muscle, no sinew.
We see this happening as well.
And, oh yeah.
Yeah, if I see her flesh melting away, that is going to prompt me to
What?
attack this thing.
What's
Roll initiative.
Bro, we can't have this thing melting Aethelflood's arm off. What the fuck?
Right?
I have
So-
4 arms.
So just for full context, and this is just players. You know, your characters would not be privy to this information at all. This is not the ghost who is presently doing this to Aethelflid. This is the result of Aethelflid making a bargain with an undead.
Right, yeah. This is me.
But you wouldn't know that Calixto.
Yeah, this is me kind of seeing this from Calixto's perspective, where he really doesn't know
Gotcha.
what's going on here, but it doesn't look
I
good.
thought that's what you meant. Yeah, it does. It looks really bad. You just
Her
watched
fucking arm
Aethelflid's
melted
arm
off.
melt away.
I mean, is
Yep.
it painful? Would I be screaming?
Not at all. Doesn't hurt. If anything, it feels better. Feels, you know, maybe you had a little arthritis. Doesn't hurt. Maybe you wanted to crack your knuckles. You don't need more.
Do I get to pick
Everything that.
this too? Or does it just...
What was that? I'm sorry.
Which hand does it happen to?
It is your right.
Oh, fantastic.
Other than that, from your elbow up, perfectly normal arm.
Let's go, Olivia
Wait, so
2.0.
it just like permanently looks like a skeleton hand?
Yeah, you got a little skeleton arm, little skeleton hand.
Okay, yeah. She's definitely just like holding it in front of her, just staring, mouth agape, just like, what? What? Like, what the fuck?
You may as well roll initiative as well.
What?
I've got
What's
Calixto, I got
this
Tarlin.
me?
Yeah, Calixto
There we
is very not cool with what he just saw.
Yeah, I can imagine not. It'd be weird if he were. So yeah, you just watched your compatriot's arm melt away, staring at this ghost, and Calixto, as you're about to swipe at it with your rapier, that's when Aethelflid kind of springs to life. Aethelflid, your arm immediately grabs the face of this specter, and you're able to kind of jolt energy through it, and it kind of blinks, and then you feel a piece of it enter you. You feel some of it inside of you. It's not malicious, it's not malevolent, but you feel some sliver of what this creature's life used to be inside of you now. You don't have all of its memories, but you kind of get some flashes here and there of robbing, of murder, of hurting the innocent. And it's not, boom, boom, boom. It's kind of just a little hint, just a little aftertaste of some of those actions. Um, the ghost, Calixto, as you try to stab through its skull, evaporates, dissipates. And you watch as what had once been standing in front of you is now gone. And that tingling feeling that you were experiencing has gone away.
Okay. I'm gonna turn in horror to Aethelflood and be like, Aethelflood, your arm! What did that thing do to you?
It it said it would help me command the dead or like move the dead. It said it would help me
You're
with my powers to
you're not sure.
I don't know. I could see its life a little bit. I don't what I think I did something wrong. I made another deal.
Gods, are you moving your hand?
She's gonna flex her finger, or I guess her phalanges, yeah. I think so. It doesn't feel bad.
It doesn't hurt?
No, it didn't hurt at all. Hold on, come here. She's gonna walk over and try to touch you with her skeleton hand. Like your armor, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna stop you if you're, but I am astounded and incredulous that, like, you're not in an extreme amount of pain and can still somehow move your arm.
Can I like feel the metal on his armor? Like, is there still sensation and stuff, or does it just like dead?
There's
Like
about half the sensation that there should be. It's not
okay.
completely gone. You could feel pain to some degree. Like you would know that there would be a like what would cause pain, but you haven't been able to inflict it upon yourself as you've kind of been testing this out. You do feel some, but it doesn't feel quite like what it used to. Now, Tarlin, you have been fascinated with death, the control of death, the understanding of death. Um, I think you would probably be somewhat fascinated, while also there's probably some aspect of you that understands this cannot come for free. What would you like to do right now?
Um, as I see kind of as Tarlin sees the ghosts like disappear and then basically that feeling go away, he was all readying basically the protection from good and evil for her, but as you know, she's kind of seems like she's out of Aethelflaed's out of danger. His hand lowers and it's just he kind of just looks grimly at her arm. He knows since he rejected the deal that they took, he kind of knows already what's going on, but he doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, I am.
You very grim set on his face.
I'm horrified at this.
it feels like my
Natural.
hand's gone numb. I can feel it, but not all the way.
It's astounding.
And that's
you
when
didn't feel it
you
at all.
you hear clinking metal, and kind of curiously looking at your arm is your old friend and sort of child, Faraday.
Verde, there you are. Oh God, I'm glad to see you. Fuel. I guess, run up and hug him in a weird way.
As you approach, Faraday kind of like does like an R2D2 bounce on its feet, kind of goes side to side sort of thing, expressing its joy, and embraces you.
Look, now we're kind of similar. Not really. I might have to put something over this. People are going to freak out. She's trying to make light of the situation, but she is still bewildered on the inside and just like, oh god, can I hold a hammer? I can still smith, right? Like, I'm gonna have to
You
make
kind
a
of test out.
judgment beside this.
You test out your hammer, and there's no ill effect. And if anything, you think this might make you perhaps a better blacksmith, knowing that your forearms will not feel weary as they once did.
Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna try grabbing shit out of the fire next. Fuck.
Okay, so you want to go investigate the treasure area?
You may as well. Did anyone else hear that, by the way?
Hear what?
Shamash. He was talking to
Shamash.
me.
No, all we saw was that horrible thing staring at you, and then your arm melted off.
Well, he asked if I'd wanted to control this dead creature, and I deeply said yes, I guess. It's not like we're gonna die anyway.
I guess I'm gonna help investigate.
Okay. I will need everyone to move over to Discord. Just for the
Okay.
record, that would have been a deadly encounter. Aethelflaed either passed those saves, could have gotten out of it, or by making that bargain, got out of a very dangerous combat encounter. So, well done.
Just cost me an arm, that's all.
Just cost
Better
you
than
one.
your life?
Okay.
Better than your life.
Before anything
You need to-
happens, would I be able to just like sort of whistle out into the darkness in like a sing-songy fashion? Just to see if Jessie can hear?
You certainly can. You do, I presume.
Yeah.
Assuming you're not just asking if you can or can't. Yeah, you definitely do that. Kind of wait for a moment. You can only hear water dripping in the distance, trickling down the little cave walls.
Okay. Then I'll join the others.
All right. So let's hop on over to Discord. Share my stuff. Is everyone able to see it?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Oh, wait.
I assume by Hunter saying yes, everyone can.
I
should
can.
wait for everyone to say yes. Hunter's like, yeah, I can. I was like, great, let's move forward.
Yes.
I will treat you to this kind of not my best work and not the best thing, a little video here with the jump scare from last time. And then we'll go investigate this very cool looking treasure
You make
area.
your way towards the untold treasures that sprawl before you. You feel the hair stand up on the back of your neck. Something feels
Is this a jump scare? I swear to God.
Oh
I can't.
no.
It'll be fine. You'll just lose an arm.
Yeah. Should I?
It's got the
I think it's gonna be.
Saturday,
I think
go
it's gonna be
investigate
stuck here.
that. First, give me your
It's
quarter.
just building up.
It's, dude,
build up.
It's just build up. I think my plan was to be like, and that's the end of our session, which is exactly what I did last time. So it's gonna be stuck here in a somewhat anticlimactic way because we've already gone through this encounter. But here in a second, we'll go explore some treasure once I regain control of the game that I built. It's just gonna take a second.
So this is what we saw. And
Yep.
then
Big
Aethelflaed's
O.
fucking arm, the meat just dripped off of it.
Yep.
Oh my
That's what happened.
fucking god.
And then Aethelflaed grabbed it by the face and it just disappeared. And then Aethelflaed's like, all right, we're good.
Jesus Christ.
That's going to be my recap.
No screaming, no pain, no nothing. Just
Ghost, arm, no ghost. That's the recap.
A plus.
And Faraday. Faraday's back.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's Faraday.
Now your subclass is your subclass again.
Oh damn, I didn't realize that was a subclass thing. I thought she just got that.
Is that true?
No, I
it's
feel
just
the
an
vendor,
artificer
yeah.
there? Okay, now
Yeah,
you're just an
I'm a
artificer.
battlesmith,
Now
though.
your class is your class again, which is important. Oh man, it's just gonna do this forever, huh?
Artificer battlesmith at level 3 get to make a steel companion.
Oh.
Yeah,
Do this forever.
that one's it's the pet artificer, as opposed to the nuker emplacement one with the artillerist. Or Iron Man with my armor.
Might be bugged. Spell this ghost, and you are currently standing in front of a chest. Some gold is surrounding it, and you see these sconces. Sconces.
This all looks awfully sus to me.
That's why I was like, investigate. I need to know. I rolled a.
Okay. Ooh, 24. So, Tarlin, you do notice that as you approach, these are these are fake coins. As you get a little bit closer, you can kind of make it out. How would you like to investigate specifically beyond what you've already gained? You've got a good roll. But what's your flavor?
I can actually follow that up. I would like to do some magic about it. So if I can Arcana or something as well to see if I get a little more information that way.
Okay.
Do some magic about it.
So
I've been watching too much Dimension 20. I'm sorry. That was Memphis magic.
you do see some runes that are intricately carved around the top, like the lid of this chest, and you do presume that they could be of magical property.
Wow, that's a nice follow-up Arcana roll. That's a 20. Not that.
Okay, I'll say this. Because I was doing that before you even rolled that. I was just going off the investigation. But with Arcana, you can tell that they seem to be of a curse-bearing origin. You make out one or two of these little runes that you've seen before, and you know that typically they are powerful and they are meant for harm. You don't know what all of them mean, but because you're still fledgling, right? But you can tell that there's something up with this chest.
Yeah. Damn it. Okay. And
Does seem to be of a curse sort of origin. You know that we'll say that you can tell that it's of the necromancy school. And that it seems to have something to do with the curse.
Okay. It's just cantrips, okay. I kind of hold I hold kind of touch Aethelflaed's shoulder. Hold for a moment. The coins are not real, and there seems a curse on this chest here. And he kind of points at the at the runes on the chest from afar. Um, I don't have anything I can do about that though. Oh, I didn't take dispel magic. I took offense. Sag. Well, I took my flavor spell, and I took one offense. No, I got that one for free. But no, I took all flavor spells. That's right.
That's okay. You made the right choice. Okay, so it's definitely cursed, but we don't know that quite yet.
Yeah.
Aethelflood's fucking arm is gone,
Well,
and still no Jessie.
You do notice.
I do know it's cursed.
You do know it's cursed.
Looks
You
like,
can tell.
anyway.
You can tell that it's referencing something of a curseus. Is that word? Curseus nature. It's a little hard to see from here. Kind of wanted to give you the zoom out. But there is a little gold figurine located right here.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like this is like the monkey, like the monkey that Abu in Aladdin pulls the rubies out of its eyes, and then the whole fucking cave starts melting.
Yeah, right.
I've seen some weird shit in this cave. We're just kind of looking for Jessie, right? And Faraday.
That's correct.
And we know that the god that was here was or the god that messed with this was a god of trickery and deceit. So we don't want. I feel like at this point we don't want to mess with any of that treasure because we'll be hella screwed if we do.
Fuck this. Let's just walk away from this. This is sus.
Aethelflood?
I mean, it definitely doesn't look like you should fuck with it. But can I? Oops. I
You
didn't
take
mean to do
dispel magic as one of your spells.
No. I
Alright.
know, right? I'm like, what can I do? I have mage hand. Can I just like use my mage hand to like poke it?
Just like get away and like
Yeah, like stand far back enough or hopefully like we wouldn't get exploded or something, but like yeah, use my mage hand to like try to grab the item and move it.
Certainly could. What's the range on that? Do you happen to know?
Mage hand, I can look it up because I don't.
Forgot you don't get to spell magic until 9th level. Good God.
No, I didn't search everywhere. Mage hand says the range is drumroll, load faster. 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay. You can certainly move back 30 feet and do whatever you'd like to do with that mage hand.
Yeah, she's muttering under her breath that she's like, yeah, walking backwards, and she's gonna say, might want to move back a bit. And
Yeah.
Heard that. Yeah, I'll move back.
she's gonna, yeah, at the 30-foot radius, mage hand and like, yeah, try to knock it over or grab it or something.
Okay. Nothing else you guys want to do beforehand?
I mean, I would like to take a quick investigation around to see if there's any sign of Jessie having come this way at all.
You don't see anything out of place, and most of the ground is covered in water, so you wouldn't see any footprints that way. So you don't see any evidence of Jesse having been through here. It doesn't mean he wasn't, but you don't see any evidence of it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's it then.
Okay. So
Developing our faces.
the three of you move backwards, and the mage hand zooms forward, and it is able to move aside a couple of little mechanisms, kind of locking this chest in place. And it is able to take the lid off. And as it does, a cloud of black just erupts from this chest. None of you are in the radius, and nothing happens to the mage hand. But you've now opened this chest. I don't have an open version, but that's okay.
Oh, the little
Yay.
statue. Can I poke the statue too? Because it keeps staring at me.
How are you poking it?
Like imagine the styrofoam finger hand that you can wear at games. Like poke, poke. With its index finger just poking it in the face.
I forgot about those things.
Right? Do people use those anymore?
Yeah, when we see the cloud of blackness erupt, like from this chest, you guys will hear Calixto curse under his breath.
What curse does he use?
Gods above. I don't know.
Okay, that's pretty good.
It's just like
I was gonna say,
fuck this place kind of a vibe. It's like this is not what we came
What
for.
the Fizzity is this?
Yeah, what is going on around here?
This is a weird place. You guys were just in Vogler. People are
Yeah.
playing fucking music and shit.
I'm
as you're
just
leaving
looking
the
for a
city.
guy. Like that's all.
Well, fortunately, you have found half of your objectives, and you've removed the lid of this chest. There is no effect when you poke this statue. You guys have not looked in this chest yet, but you're welcome to do so. And if you would like to do anything else with the statue, you're welcome to do that as well. And if you want to leave, you can do that too.
Is has the black mist dissipated, or is it still just like all around?
Yes.
in this?
So,
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So it does erupt. It is no longer present. And yeah, it doesn't look like there's any ill effect of having not been standing in that radius. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess I will cautiously walk up and try and investigate as I, like I said, cautiously walk up to it again. Like, good lord. Just Tarlin muttering under his breath. At this rate, I'll sooner join the dead.
You peek in, and your eyes are able to kind of pierce the black interior of this chest. You see laying within it a blue book with a silver rune on the front and sort of silver etchings on the side. You are well enough versed in the ways of magic to believe that's a spell book.
Oh god. Oh god.
What's wrong?
Do it, you madman.
Gosh.
Do you want Faraday to pick it up?
Hey, Tarlin kind of grimaces looking at it, and he's like, "It's most
book?
definitely a spell book, but yes, After what just happened, I am most nervous about touching it. Apologies. Oh, well, perhaps we could use your mage hand instead of our dear friend Faraday. I wouldn't want anything to happen to him either."
It's very kind considering he's metal, but yes. Mage hands it is. And I guess I'm gonna pick up the book. With mage hand, obviously, not my skeleton hand. Although I'm curious about that too.
Okay. You do pick up the book.
Slowly draw it towards myself.
You slowly draw it towards yourself.
I guess when it is in front of me, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab it with my skeleton hand.
You are able to do so.
Well, she's gonna turn and pivot and present it to Tarlin. I'm not sure I'm the best test subject, but here you are.
Be careful, Tarlin.
He kind of Tarlin kind of looks at it for a moment and you see he's gonna cast a protective spell on himself real fast. And yeah, I'm gonna protection from good and evil. Let's say uh Celeste.
Celestials? You said
Yes, I'm
celestials.
sorry. Yes,
Okay.
I did say Celestials.
Okay.
Um, just because I worry about. I'm like trying to think of what would protect me give me a little bit of help against a god. Uh, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take the book, and I think can I try and decipher the runes on the outside before I crack it open?
Yeah. You look at the rune. There's a big rune on the front. Um, that's kind of all you see. But
Oh,
and you are physically touching this book, correct?
yes, that's a 23 Arcana.
Okay. So you are able to determine that it is a rune. You think it hasn't been used in a very, very long time. You don't think this is modern rune. And that's just because you haven't seen it in any of your texts that you've studied. This is a rune that it's almost like doesn't exist in the annals of history. And you're pretty good with rune stuff, so you don't recall it. Seems to be very old, a little bit worn, and you're holding it in front of you.
Okay, yeah, I guess Tarlin is going to kind of seeing where everybody he's going to step away, kind of step closer to back door the chest is, so he's away from everybody when and then just and he's basically trying to take the precaution in case he cracks the book open and something happens to everybody, or happens to himself when he does it. And then when he's, I guess when he's about 30 feet away, he's gonna kind of ask them to step back a little bit from him, and then he's gonna open the book.
You open the book, and you can feel how old the pages are just from touch. This is an ancient book. You open it, and the first page is blank. And then you can't help yourself. You open the next page. That page is blank. Then you open the next one, and it says die. And then you open up the next page.
Ooh.
Die. And then you open up the next page, and it's a picture of you. And then you open up the next page, and it says die. And then you open up the next page, and you keep flipping through the pages. I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Can we see this from like where we're standing, or is this just like his guys only?
Well, that's up to you guys. Are you kind of standing behind his back, looking over his shoulder, able to also read these? Or are you standing far away? Because it sounded like he kind of went to the distance just to be safe.
Yeah, I think
I
we all
guess
kind of
so.
backed away. I would be watching him because I'm very sus of that book.
Same, I guess.
The
Watch.
19 wisdom save.
Boom! You're able to slam the book shut just as you realize what is happening. There's a sense, and you gain control of it. The two of you, Tarlin, Calixto, and Aethelflid, you're watching Tarlin flip through these pages, and you're kind of watching with curiosity, and then he just slams it shut. You can see an immediate change in his demeanor. He's shaken visibly. Tarlin, what you experienced wasn't just, oh no, I'm seeing the word die in this book. There was
Yeah.
something that took control of you. There was something warping your mind and your brain. And you do not
Hmm.
feel the same. You can't put a finger on it.
Okay.
There's something off. And having seen the things you've seen, understanding the dangers of the world, having taken a very old spell book and a cursed chest and read it, and having just gone through that, there's probably a lot going on in your mind right now. And
Mhm.
you have this sense of unease because you don't feel right and you're not sure why.
Okay.
I think seeing Calixto's face change would make Ethelfled a little unsettled since he's always so like level and kind of the same. Like he's so familiar with dead and all this shit. Like seeing him actually like show a little hint of something is like, oh.
Yeah, seeing Tarlin like slam the book shut like that, I would again. Calixto would shake his head and say like, "This place is inhabited by evil and trapped."
Do we really need to find Jesse? I'm starting to feel like we should just get out of here.
I certainly have to, but I wasn't expecting to find this. Are you okay, Tarlin?
I don't quite know.
You don't look so well. Did something happen?
One should read this book. He's like holding it tightly closed in his hand. He's just, no one should ever open this book again. And he kind of, I don't know. He's. Am I able to? Am I able to put it down?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Tarlin would take some rope out of his pack and tie the book closed, and then put it in his pack.
Okay. You certainly may. I do need you to roll a D100.
Cool. Funny.
A 20. Okay. Okay. Tarlin,
Yeah.
you are able to put this book in your bag. You
Yeah.
tie it off. Nobody should ever read this book. Nobody should touch this book ever again. This thing is fucked. Right? You know it. You feel uneasy.
Uh-huh.
Seems like everything's cool, right? You've kind of looted this area. You've done some exploration. You're still alive. You got to get the fuck out of this place. And as you're thinking these things, Calixto, Aethelflid, you see Tarlin fall limp to the ground, and he just lays there. Tarlin, you are completely unable to move, and you're currently unconscious.
Okay.
Gonna rush over to his side.
Yeah.
No
Good
H-
grief.
Just unconscious. No sleep. No HP loss. Just unconscious.
Full HP, great question. Full HP. You are not under any other conditions. You are just unconscious.
You're like flavor
then
Pass the fuck out.
Oh my god, fuck this. I'm going to fucking squat down, pick up Tarlin, throw him over my shoulder, look at Aethelflud, and say, fuck this place. We have to get out of here.
Fuck this place. Let's. But what? Do we just go back?
I don't know, but we can't leave him here.
I guess retrace our steps. That's the only way we know. Wait, because we entered through a normal way, right? We didn't get like transported or something.
You were transported. You mean this very specific spot right here? You walked here, but you were transported once Tarlin read the word tongues in that sheet of paper at that open chest, and it led you to Faraday, perhaps even Jesse. But only would you know if you dug deeper into the cave.
Oh my fucking god.
I'll look at Faraday and be like, "Do you know how to get out of here?"
Thank you.
Faraday has offers you I don't know how we extracted it last time. I think it was a little hologram. But Faraday does have a recording and offers it to you.
Take it and watch it.
Now, before you start that up, Tarlin,
Huh?
you were asleep, and now you're kind of in a dream.
Okay.
You're kind of floating. You're falling through space, but it's not like you're plummeting. It feels
Okay.
very relaxed, and everything around you is black, but it's kind of rippling. And as it ripples, you kind of float up, and it's like you're a fly or a pixie. You're very tiny, and you're hovering over the shoulder of an old man. He's got a long gray beard, gaunt face, black robe, and he's holding a staff. That staff has a blue gem in it, and it is kind of encased in this sort of dragon's claw. So at the very top of this staff, there's this gem, and clutched in or that gem is clutched in basically the claws of a dragon.
Okay.
It shines kind of intermittently, kind of pulses, and then your eyes open, and you see Faraday handing a hologram recording over to Aethelflid. As you're coming to consciousness, Aethelflid, you are playing this hologram.
Am I still
You see
holding
Jess-
him as he comes to consciousness?
You are. So she's starting it up. Would you like to say anything?
I'm gonna look at Tarla and I say, "Oh, thank God you're alive. I didn't check."
I think as Tarlin's coming to, it's kind of and he thinks he's still falling, so he like puts his arms up
Yeah,
a little bit and
I'll set him back
oh,
down.
yeah. Sorry. What happened? Did I?
You collapsed.
Hmm. I saw something strange. Yeah. And he tells them what he saw in the old man in black robes and a dragon staff, like a dragon claw staff with a blue gem in it, and it's like I wonder if this who I just saw was the original owner of this he kind of indicates the book in his pack, not touching it, just points his thumb at it. As he's kind of like composing himself again, getting back on his feet.
Yeah, I don't even. Hearing this, Calixto's just going to sort of shake his head. And he's like, all of this magic. It sounds like more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, I don't think anything good's happening here.
He kind of Tarlin. He says that, and Tarlin kind of looks at him for a second. He's like, "Are you not making a deal for most powerful magic with the god?"
Yes, but I won't make a habit of doing so, certainly.
And Tarlin just kind of sighs a little bit and like, "Well, we should." What? He kind of looks back and forth and is like, "Should we proceed? Where should we proceed from here?" And he's ignoring the gold glittering glittering over off to the side, wondering if they can just go past that, or if there is that like a wall behind the gold.
That is in fact a wall.
Okay,
So
cool.
you are able to kind of section off this area, clear it out.
Yeah.
You do still have that statue.
Mm.
I would say you guys have investigated plenty to know that it's safe. You don't see anything that stands out. Aethelflid, you value it at a lot of gold. Perhaps if you were to haggle with somebody, you could get a better price. So I don't want to put an exact number on it just yet. But
Or it could be melted down.
it does seem to be precious.
she will pick it up and just throw it in her bag.
Okay.
I don't think this is
When you
carrot.
touch it,
Yeah.
no, I'm kidding. That's not me. That's Matt. What you got, boss?
More of the same. All right, so if you guys want to, you're more than welcome to exit this area. I'd say it's pretty well explored.
I mean, does
You guys,
anyone know Jesse? Do we really have to go find him? Do we owe him anything? She's kind of being she's not being very nice right now.
and you say that as you start your hologram, and you see Faraday, Jesse, and they're in the cave that you guys have been in, and they're kind of walking along, and they get to this chest, and they say, "Timeless." Um, in fact, it was Faraday who kind of points to the letters for Jesse with the little sword. And it's like Time. Kind of helps him out. He's like, "Oh, timeless." They get sucked into this cave. They're kind of looking around, and they go upstairs to explore. They get to a place full of treasure and wonder, and Jesse is so excited and so happy. And picks up a little piece of like gem that he finds on the ground, a little jewel. Kind of examines it, and there's a clink, and he's like, "Oh no, not again!" And then Faraday's stuff cuts out.
Oh my god.
Right as he's like, "Uh oh."
Not
Speaking of which-
again. What a rascal.
Wait, we had already listened to the recording of the other guys, right?
Yep. That was
Okay.
when Ignia was disguised in a human form and conversed with actually that big flaming red dragon knight. So you
Okay.
guys got to see that scene, and that's when Team Rocket. We haven't seen it in a while. Team Rocket talked to them about some stuff. So
Okay.
that's how you guys found out some things about the army and some stuff. But yeah, you guys did check that one out. This one doesn't give you a whole lot. You just kind of see Faraday and Jesse just ho humming along, just kind of getting in adventures. And then Jesse's like, "Oh no!" And then, in typical Kinder fashion, he does something. And
Well, he's disappeared twice now. He went the timeless one and then another one.
yeah, with the timeless, that was how you guys also got here as well by saying timeless. So it was written in an anagram on that sheet of paper. You guys were whizzed here into this temple of Hidegel.
And were we able to make out what happened when the thing clamped around, like what caused the thing to clamp around his wrist?
Oh,
Or
yes.
foot or whatever it was?
It's a sound, so it sounds like something springing as he picks up gem off the ground.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
So
sprung a trap when he picked up his loot.
you can kind of see Faraday looking at some gold that's on the ground,
You got
some
it.
gems and some other things. But yeah, Jesse definitely picks up a gem.
Oh, yes.
You hear a noise, and he's like, "Uh oh, not again!" And then fade to black.
Was it the gem that Tarlin picked up?
No, this was of a purple kind of nature.
Okay.
I guess that's such a DM thing to
How
say.
was
No, it was purple.
Yeah, buddy.
It is of a purple nature.
Perhaps lilac.
Yeah, there's
But yeah, so if you guys wanted to, we can certainly go to the beginning again. One of the reasons it's lagging is because I have it on scalability cinematic. Fix that real quick. It's actually a good time to take 5 if you guys want a quick break.
Yeah, sure.
Have to. But may as well.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready. And start.
Yeah, we're all set.
All right. And we're back looking for Jesse after he stumbled into danger, as Kinders are wont to do. Just to give a quick reminder, Aethelflaed doesn't have an arm. That's a skeleton now. She was able to make a deal with Chemosh and control this creature, and kind of maybe has a little piece of it deep down inside. Tarlin, you investigated the chest. You were able to determine that it had something going on. Seemed very trapped in kind of evil, very curse-like nature on the runes. And if you are very, very smart, you used Mage Hand, you avoided potential danger. But then, Tarlin, as you pull out this spell book, ancient tome, you read through it, it's menacing, and right when you pull yourself back, think everything's good, you just collapse to the ground. Now you're back. You were able to watch the hologram with Faraday, and in doing so, you were able to determine that Jesse had probably done something mischievous and was probably in a lick of danger. Can you guys think of anything I left out? So there's quite a bit of movement there.
I don't think so. That actually sounded about right.
Whew, we got there.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we're on the hunt for Jesse in this cave of death.
You ascend the staircase carefully and observe your surroundings. The masterfully crafted marble beneath your feet feels sturdy. Other than dripping, you observe no sound. But the oft interjecting instincts of an adventurer urge you to look more closely. Roll a perception check.
Don't listen to him. Don't do it. You're already dead.
Okay.
I don't have collision, so I have to be really careful going up these stairs. But this is where you were successful in your perception check. Aethelflid, you made a little grappling hook because there is, in fact, no stair right here, and you were able to harvest a little bit of this moss. So you do have that for some task or function down the road. You did look over here as well, and you investigated this area, and there's nothing of any interest. There's a small barricade right here, and as you look inside, you see cobwebs. It's very old, well chiseled. You kind of see something standing out underneath these stairs. It's like a glint of metal. And then staircase that ascends, of course. You see a little altar here in the middle, or perhaps just a broken pillar. There is a door with a gate directly in front of you here, and then a path that leads to your side. Right here. So just to kind of section it off, you've got under the stairs where there's something going on. You do have this staircase here that ascends upwards. You have this thing in the middle, door with a gate, and a pathway here. Might be important or perhaps relevant to go over the clues that I've listed in chat. The clues. I must remember the clues. And yet, what secrets do I hide? Behind the chest adorned with stones, there lies the tormented, a sight that no man should ever dare gaze upon. Which you guys did. They writhe in the shadows, lost in anguish. A reminder of the price of knowledge, the cost of curiosity. Beware, for those that seek the truth find themselves ensnared by the very darkness they wish to unveil. But beware the gaze that cannot blink. It holds truths unspoken, waiting for a soul to seek. I see no evil, I whisper to the shadows. A truth I cannot escape. What are eyes but windows, yet mine, oh mine, have bled? Can one truly see when the heart is blind? But what lies ahead? Ah, a stone on the stair. A sentinel of silence, a marker of fate. Each step echoes with the weight of my choices, heavy like the burden of forgotten truths. Which you guys were able to discern is the staircase that you were able to not fall down. If I dare to move onward, feel the pain clawing at my soul, yet inward? Ah, sweet release. Inwards, I am free from the shackles of despair. Once the circle is unbound, I shall find the entrance, the door without a key. What waits beyond? Only the echoes of madness. And then, yes, see no evil, and then I weather the mountains, I wrinkle the face of time itself, the greatest vandal of all, leaving but a whisper, a trace. None can escape me, though many have tried. speak my name or forever be denied. Stairs, stone to your left. We've got 3 options right here.
Is there any sign that someone passed through here at all? Any like dry spots in the dust that might, have been disturbed recently?
Roll investigation.
For my dearest throne, you may return.
19?
19's pretty good.
I don't know how anyone ever
21.
decided to worship Nidku.
So, Aethelflid, if you want to roll investigation, I'd say you can as well.
Okay. Let's see. Investigation. Damn, I'm actually good at that and I sucked.
Okay. So you're able to see just a little bit that looks to be perhaps just the size of 2 feet. Those 2 feet, not a pair of 2 feet, but 2 feet themselves, go up this staircase right here.
Let's see.
Would you like to go this way?
Yeah, I guess let's see what we can see, huh?
Yeah.
Everyone good with that? Go up the stairs?
You're
Yep.
Yes.
There's no collision here either. It's really tricky. So now as you're up here, you can see a door. And there's this little platform. Of course, you can see the sun filtering in. Some cracks right here. So there's a little sun out there. You see some trees in the background. Would you like to continue ascending?
Yes, but being mindful of potential traps, since we literally just saw Jeshi get
disappear again.
trigger a trap. Yeah.
Filled
Right.
with filled with the intuition of a traveler, little PTSD. You very, very carefully make your way up here. Now, there's nothing of any import here, just some lit candles. It's a little weird that they're lit candles, but nothing else out of the ordinary. You do see this wheel, however, right here. It's a wheel, got some cobwebs on it. It has a crankshaft, and that's what you got.
I don't like the look of this thing. It seems out of place. This might
You don't
be...
think we're gonna get poisoned if we touch it, do you?
I don't think it would be a bad idea if you opened it the way you opened that chest.
Alright then. I will cast Mage Hands to interact, or Mage Hand, to interact with the loom, or not the loom, the spinning wheel.
You may do so. You want to try to crank it?
Yeah, just like push a lever, spin the wheel, whatever.
I'll take the dodge action.
I ready a dodge. Charlene, is there anything you would like to do before or during?
No, I think I'm going to. I'm still. I think Tarlin is still kind of shaken about and thinking really hard about this old man that he saw in his vision.
Okay, so he's a little distracted, thinking about old creepy man. So it doesn't budge as you try to crank it.
I'll just go at it for a second. Whatever.
Okay. It doesn't, but if everyone could roll an insight check.
18.
Okay.
Oops. Sorry. Take the 4.
So Tarlin, you're thinking about this creepy black robed man. It has to be with this one. You've touched perhaps his spell book, or maybe he's made contact with you in some other way. Maybe it was just a dream. Who knows? As you're thinking about that, you're kind of distracted, so it takes you an extra minute. But you do think once the circle is unbound, and you start reciting that clue, it does occur to you that it might be that there has to be something that unbinds this circle.
Okay. Um. Hmm. So it might be locked right now, and there's something that has to Okay, something has to unbind it. Okay. Hmm.
It's certainly
Um.
certainly a thought that's crossing your mind.
I guess could I investigate the wheel, see if I can find anything about it that like a mechanism somewhere on it.
Roll it up. If Aethelflid, if you'd like to as well. Callisto, you're welcome to, but they're probably going to have better stats.
That's a 22.
But
24.
That's a 24. Good lord.
not that we really need more, but Callisto, you're welcome to roll for it if you'd like. And you know what? We'll say Faraday helps you have advantage. You do see that there is a mechanism. You are convinced you can't trigger whatever that mechanism is here. So you think that there must be something somewhere else, perhaps, that might unlock this. You're positive there's something, that there's some mechanism, but
Okay. It's not here.
impossible.
Okay.
Yeah, it is impossible. Like you kind of fiddle with it. It is impossible for you to do it from here. You're convinced.
I think at this point, Aethelfled is probably a little bit more curious than cautious since it didn't immediately explode, and she likes to make things. So she will go forward and start to like basically mess with it and touch it and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me an artificer's tools skill check, and let's see just what you discern from this right here. We'll see how good that is. It's also worth mentioning that the footprints end at this circle. You've lost Jesse's trail. However, there's more area to explore.
Where's my house?
Um,
And then Aethelflip, once we get that artificer's tools, I'll be able to...
I have like thieves, carpenters, and like something else ready, so I just need to type it out real quick.
If you did thieves or if you did carpenters especially, it's probably the same outcome. And if it turns out we need to...
Okay.
Okay. So you have really studied this thing, and you've gained a considerable amount of information about mechanisms that lock things into place, but also how to do the receiving end of this type of lockjaw. You don't have the understanding of whatever triggers this yet, but you understand how this aspect of this sort of mechanism works.
And it's just a sewing machine, a loom, a wheel, or it turns fibers into thread.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not doing much now, but yeah, it's just a little wooden wheel, kind of sitting there.
There's no like inscription or name or like whoever made it, like their initials in it or anything like that, or.
Nope.
Well,
No,
so we might. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Go ahead.
Say we might need to do another part of the clues first before we do the circle, which is I guess this thing. So let's see. Something about a stone on the stairs.
Let's say as you're in this area, You're able to see this door. It's very out of place. It's just a wooden door. This has this staircase leading to it. Tarlin, it does occur to you as well that that staircase is probably what's being referenced, the one that was had part of it missing, but it had like an illusionary portion that was presumably there.
Yeah.
So you can kind of rule that one out. Now we do have the area directly underneath here. We also have very slowly these two paths to the side, and there's a little spot that looks like a point of interest kind of in the middle. There's also this very oddly placed door.
Isn't there something underneath the stairs as well?
There is.
It's that thing over there, right?
Can we see what's underneath?
It's like a piece of metal sticking out of a stone.
Would you like to approach it?
Yes.
Curiously, you observe a sword placed into what looks like the remains of a pillar.
So who's King Arthur?
So you find a sword in the stone.
Hey.
At this point, I'm kind of reluctant to touch like anything unless we sample it first. Like, this doesn't look quite normal either.
Certainly doesn't look normal.
Didn't like a wizard, a fucking like wizard who worshipped the trickery god, like wasn't he who set up it was him who set up all these traps, right? In his diary.
Correct.
Yeah, dude, there's like these aren't just
Can
traps, these are wizard traps.
These are wizard traps.
What do y'all think?
I want to see if it's magical, but I rolled a 12. Like, if there's like a
It could help with that.
dark energy or like insignia, rune glowing or something, or I don't know, but
There's nothing that specifically stands out as much.
No, I can't help.
Tarlin, you think it might be magic, but you're not quite sure.
Yes. Fine.
Faraday, will you be a doll and give it a go, please? Yank it out of the stone.
I need everyone to roll insight.
Because I can just rebuild
Okay.
him. I hope.
19.
Okay. Okay.
You did good, guys.
19.
As you say, yank it out to Faraday. You're all of you are kind of obsessed with these clues. I feel like Calixto is probably mortified beyond normal words at this point, and is
Yeah, right.
probably. I mean, is that correct?
Yeah, I've definitely seen like some weird fucking shit in here.
Yeah, and you're probably on edge.
Like I've never seen anything like what has happened to Aethelflood's arm before. And granted, I've never seen anything like most of the things that Tarlin does. so yeah, this place, and then we found the scribblings of the wizard who's like, yeah, I'm a weird guy and I set up a bunch of traps around here. It's like, oh my fucking god. I'm just trying to find Jessie and get out of here.
Yeah, so Tarlin and Aethelflid, you're both thinking about these clues because you like good puzzles. Calixto, you're fighting for your life. Just thinking about like every line, every word. And as Aethelflid asks Faraday to yank it out, you do think about one of the clues. If I dare move outward, I feel the pain clawing at my soul, yet inward, ah, sweet release. Inwards, I am free from the shackles of despair.
Oh. So I have to push it in, but I don't know that.
Who does this occur to?
All
You.
three of you. All
three of
three.
us. I mean,
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a very
Wait.
strong inside check from all.
if Faraday doesn't have a soul, I mean, he might be fine just pulling that shit right out.
Wait, Faraday. Wait. Actually,
I think it'd be better for him to push the
push
sword
it
in
in,
instead of
please.
pull it out.
Yeah. We push the sword in as far as it'll go. New
Is that
command.
official? Is that an official order?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear a click above you as you see Faraday push this sword inside of this pillar.
There's a click above us.
Correct. And
Oh.
you're convinced that if you were to, like, you feel confident upon hearing that click, especially after studying the mechanism from up top. You are very confident that this is the trigger. Knowing that for sure, if you'd like to roll a investigation check or a toolkit check, either one's fine.
Whoops. I already rolled investigation.
Okay. You got a 22 for the first one. We'll say that you got so much information from that great roll that you are able to also piece together how this entire mechanism works now. So you can make your own, with enough resources and time, your own very booby trap of some sort with a
Yay.
kind of push in, pull out mechanism. Not only the mechanism itself, but the trap that's associated with this as well. So it's a very intricate system. You're kind of jotting this all down. Calixto, I'd imagine you probably have a moment of relaxation for once in this entire play, hopefully.
Yeah,
I
I
want that for
realized
him.
I was holding my breath the whole time. I exhale.
Ethelfled will be writing in her notebook like, oh, quite clever, actually.
Okay, so we'll just pretend the sword is inside. You did hear a click from up top. There are these areas you could also explore as well if you'd like to, or you could go straight up and see what happens when you pull that thing.
So could I recreate this trap if I had to?
Yeah, I mean, it would take time, it would take resources, but yeah, you can make not only a locking mechanism, but also the trap associated with it, and the ability to kind of lock something based off of like an insertion or a pull. But you can basically create a lock that you can disarm elsewhere, and you can trap to some degree that area
All right, I'm gonna write down lock and trap.
as a true artificer should. So now you can kind of make locks and some traps and stuff, and you have a skeleton arm.
Yeah.
Happy Wednesday, Tosh. All right,
Thanks.
so
Ooh, I have chests too. I can just combine it into the chest.
there you go. So would you guys like to explore some of these uncharted waters, or would you like to go up and move the thing?
I think Ethelfled would be curious as to what it unlocked.
Yeah, we got to see the click through.
Exactly. So I guess go back to the wheel?
Going back to the wheel.
Back to the other half of the thing I couldn't figure out?
Okay, so you're able to crank it, and as you do, you're whisked away. You feel
shit.
the same sensation as when you read the word timeless, and you are now standing across from where you were on this little platform with this out of place door in front of you. If you guys wanted to make like a little rope thing and make like a little, if you guys wanted to make the ability to get up here more easily through natural means, you can certainly do so. That's
Like,
something you want.
That
Yeah,
does seem
I-
pretty
Up
good.
here.
Use some pythons and a rope to
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ethelfled
let's
has
do
a
that.
hammer.
Yeah,
He can just
unlock a
tink, tink,
shortcut.
tink.
There's so
yeah,
much
exactly.
more. So you do have the sword in front of you. You're welcome to try to interact with it in some way. There's also unknown horrors to your right.
Unknown
Sweet
horrors.
unknown horrors.
Mhm. Right,
There's
sounds
like
promising.
nothing happening over there that we can hear, right?
You don't hear anything at all.
Okay.
Just
okay.
the
Just
drifting of the
making
water.
sure. Okay.
Well, we can't. Of course, we can't hear anything. They're unknown.
But the door's right in front
If
of
we
us,
could hear
right?
something, we would know a little bit about them.
Unknown.
No.
Doors unknown.
Oh my god.
Unknown, unknown.
You can't argue with the dad logic, man. It's
I hear
there.
ya. It's good. I'm with you. So
Door number 1 or door number 2?
I will say you're able to kind of look down here. You might be able to explore it even more closely down there, but you don't see anything that stands out currently. So
Wait, are we? We're still in like the same area, just like a different location.
correct. So you're just across from where you were, where that oddly placed door was. There's kind of nothing leading to it. By pushing the sword in instead of trying to pull it out, you not only didn't get hit by a trap, but you were able to unlock the mechanism up top. You were then able to move the loom, and you are now standing, thanks to magic, right across from you. And there's just a little stone staircase that leads to a door. And there's all this funny business to your right.
I guess we should probably go through the door.
Would you like to?
I mean, I don't see. Yeah.
You do have a shortcut. If you would like to maybe make a shortcut and go exploring, but you're welcome to interact with this door if you'd like. How would you like to interact with it?
I feel like I need to recollect those clues real quick. There was something about a door in there.
A door without a key. So once the circle is unbound, I shall find the entrance, the door without a key. What awaits beyond? Only the echoes of madness.
Oh, that sounds bad. I don't know, guys. The door's right here, but I have a feeling it's going to be bad. Do you want to explore more? Come back later, or... I will make... Shall I make hands open?
A stone on the stair. I guess not that one, huh?
That was the sword. I think the
A
sword.
door
on the stone
without
was
a
the stone on the
key.
stair.
Only the echoes
But there's
of
there's a lock
madness.
on it.
Once the circle is unbound, I shall find the entrance. A door without a key. I guess we could just open the door and we're done with all of this. Maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, and then yes, see no evil. I weather the
Awesome.
mountains.
Are you ready for madness? Because I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess so.
Carlin?
All right, mage hand it open.
Okay. I will also say it does seem to you that it is at the end of your list of clues. So it seems
Yes.
like whatever is the most heavily guarded of all things is going to be perhaps...
Is everybody ready?
You might be at a point of no return.
It's not like we can get out anyway. Except, I
I
guess.
think this
going
is the
forward.
way out, and if we leave, I don't think we can come back. So if there's anything else we want to check out, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if we should go explore the other stuff before we like permanently leave.
It's up to you.
Stands out that it's at the end of the clues. And you're like, oh, you know.
True.
So many clues. So it's up to you guys. You're welcome to step through the door. Doesn't bother me one bit. And then we can see what's on the other
You
side.
guys want to keep looking around some of this other stuff, especially since we don't have to do all of the. We've already pretty much solved the end part of the puzzle.
I guess so. I mean, we did make the rope back up here, so we should be good to
Yeah.
just go check out other shit and come back.
I do stress that it's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think
No,
the only
that's
thing
what I
that
was gonna
makes
say,
me hesitant is that everything in here is tried to kill or curse us, so I just feel like we're just gonna run into more trouble. if we
That's
do some more-
true.
That's part of the game. That's
That's
why I
true.
do not care what you do. But I will say,
Risk reward.
Yep, I'll say that too. So yeah, just as a DM talking to players on Wednesday night trying to have fun.
My
playing the game.
forearm and hand
Um,
turned into a skeleton. I think I'm good. But
Yeah,
I will go if you guys want to go.
I will say there is other shit. It is dangerous and it is rewarding. But we could just step through, and you will not have to worry about the risks. So it's entirely up to the party. I don't mind either way.
I think Ethelfled is not really. She's driven more by knowledge than by treasure. So, again, after everything that's happened and seeing Calixto, or I'm sorry, Tarlin be a little afraid and like not knowing what's gonna happen next, probably just wants to get out. Like while
Understood.
this is all like fascinating, she probably is not wanting to stay longer than she has to.
That's certainly safe. You are missing an R. So.
Why?
And
I mean,
you
I
guys
got
actually
gold
did a good job too. You made it through a lot of shit. So I mean, there were some things where you guys used a lot of ingenuity and you
We
made
could
it through some
probably,
stuff.
yeah. I mean, we'll probably survive if you want more treasure, but she got a gold monkey made of solid gold, so.
I think you guys are in the green.
I
Well,
mean,
what
I'll
do you guys think?
explore if you want to explore.
I feel like the gamer in me is like, yeah, let's go fucking explore every last bit. But
I know,
like
right?
the guy who's like trapped in some wizard psycho's booby trap lair is like, dude, we just need to fucking get this and get out. I'm kind of
Agreed,
with
'cause
Aethelflood on that.
Get the fuck out of here.
we
Yeah,
didn't
You
I
good
look
with
mean,
it?
at
that's what. Yeah, I'm good with it, honestly. I think Tarlin, well, he has this book, and it's gonna take. I think for him, he knows that at this point, it's more than just trying to kill him. There's something that he's gonna have to like break or dispel on it to be able to actually get to what's in it. But
The safest option. So I take it that we all as
yeah,
a group agree to move the narrative forward and see what's behind this. Does that sound about right?
Indeed.
yes,
All right. So as you go to touch the door, the moment you make contact with it, you find yourself in a kind of cave area. As you turn around, you
Okay.
see a statue, and it is Jesse Zendo standing
Oh,
before you, but in statue form.
oh fuck.
He's frozen stiff, unresponsive.
Uh,
You also see a sword, some skulls and some bones. You see a skull right here, and you see 4 chests right in front of you.
is that Jesse?
It looks like him.
I am going to remembering the clues once again. Take more like rip more or get more cloth out of my bag and cover up this damn skull.
Okay, you were able to do so.
There's no indication. He's like solid stone, eh?
Correct.
Like he was petrified?
Yes, he is very much petrified in front of you. Statue form. But you found him.
Is that
I just keep remembering that see no evil thing that it was repeated so many times in the clues. So that's why I was like, and let me cover this up.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
I think it's a great idea.
Can would I mean, I'm not an alchemist, but do we know if there's like a cure or a potion for petrification? Like in existence in the world? In
I
this
think
world?
yes. Well, do we as do
That's
we as
correct.
characters know that? I don't know. Do
I
we?
would say so. Aethelflood, I would say you probably are aware that there could be some sort of medicinal something that could be administered. Carlin, you've read stories about not only the more holistic approaches to petrification, but also magical. So you know that it's outside of your current abilities, but you're familiar that there is a cure out there.
Yeah.
I just briefly like thumbed through the diary of Mystic Ganala's journal
Mhm.
to see if
Um,
maybe he mentions like doing this to an enemy or like anything of that nature? Any mention of like petrification?
He doesn't mention petrification. Towards the end, and you're just from your context clues, you're pretty solid with knowing that it's towards the end of it, right? So, circles unbound. I shall find the entrance, a door without a key. What awaits beyond? Only the echoes of madness. And then, yes, see no evil. And then, I weather the mountains. I wrinkle the face of time itself. The greatest vandal of all, leaving but a whisper, a trace. None can escape me, though many have tried. Speak my name, or forever be denied.
Does anyone have like message or anything that we can like, or something we can get in his mind?
Jesse? Certainly
None
try
can
if you got
escape me, though many have tried. Speak my name or be forever denied. Just out
Nidico!
loud. Tarlin thinking about that just says death out loud.
In time passes.
Okay, well, no, nothing happened.
Thorn hot something. Nidco! Jesse! She's just shouting random names
Wasn't
now.
there like a crazy name? I can't remember if it was the name of the wizard himself or the god he worshipped, but it was like Flazzle.
Fizzendanalis?
What's the name of the...
Fizzendanalis, yeah.
Fizzendanalis, the one and only, the living legend himself. Except he's not alive.
Is it Danalis? Good job remembering that.
Fizzendanalis? Who is that?
Fizzendanalis. He is the wizard referenced in the Mad Wizard's diary.
Okay.
Wait, what's the name one more time so I can write it down?
Fizzendanalis.
Of
Piston dancing? Okay. Kidding.
Fizzendanalis. Oh, type up. Ah. I think that's it.
Is there any names that we can see on these chests?
You can investigate the chest if you like.
Oh, I can
yes.
do that.
You, to your surprise. Oh,
Damn.
Damn.
Right? 27.
Just gonna
A
let
mighty
y'all
roll.
investigate everything from now on.
okay. Kalista, would you like to start a round two?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see what we got.
Okay. So there are a few things you're able to kind of pick out. We'll say you're investigating this entire area, right? So you're of course able to see Jesse, right? He's made of stone, standing before you, very heavy. Maybe try to lift him up a little bit just to see. He's very heavy. You do see bones. As you dig through the bones, it occurs to you that these were adventurers. These were not cultists. These were not wizards. You just see enough personal effects in their bags. Nothing of any worth or interest. But you do see some things kind of littered around. You're able to see the sword. You can tell that it is a magical sword. You don't know how or why just yet, but if you'd like to roll Arcana, please do. And Aethelflid, Tarlin, you are able to discern that there are 0 traps whatsoever of a physical nature associated with any of these chests. Those are the things in front of you. So you've got mechanically untrapped chests. You have the skull that is now covered, a sword of some sort of magical property. You have these remains of what seem to be adventurers, and you have the statue of Jesse.
Mechanically untrapped chests, eh?
Correct.
That sounds
There's no mechanical
pretty
traps, but-
sus to me.
You do not see any mechanisms. Well, I mean, when you think about it, you wouldn't be able to tell if there was some sort of magical on it. You could tell if there were mechanisms. That's
Yeah,
what you do.
true. Is Jessie like stuck to the floor? Is he like
he's
sealed into the floor?
He's liftable. He is exceedingly heavy, hundreds of pounds heavy.
Yeah.
So you could get him out of here. It would not be fun or easy. You could do it. But it does occur to you that you guys can't even get yourselves out of here just yet.
So we're all just crammed in this tiny room together.
Correct. Yeah, now, there is a little bit,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's hard to see from here. There is a door. You can kind of peek out. You see a skeleton with a key. As you try to put your hand through the door and move it outwards, you notice that it just leads to rock. It appears to be an illusion of some sort. You are also able to, and it's really hard to see from here, but across from you is where you unlocked the wheel and you did your sword thing. So if you had proceeded this way, you would have been able to find this area. But then you'd only be able to look inside. But now you are currently in this area. It is cramped. You are searching for a way out. You cannot find a way out. You're kind of just stuck in here. So as you're trying to fiddle and investigate and look at stuff, you do reach that conclusion. As far as you can tell, there's no way out of this room. I guess it's fairly important information. But we have no
So our options are: we open the chest, we examine the sword, we do something with that weird skull. What is Jesse looking at?
It should be more to. Well, I guess you can kind of see it. The chest that's knocked over. It's that one. So he's kind of directly across from it.
Is there any indication of what may have knocked it over? Does it seem to have been like pushed backwards or anything like that?
That's a great question. So we'll say that you're kind of examining it. Maybe Tarlin and Aethelflaed can kind of examine it with the leaks, though. You're able to see that there's a teeny tiny little footprint that knocked over that chest.
A footprint, like a Jesse-sized footprint, or like an unfamiliar footprint.
I would say at this point you are quite familiar with Jesse-sized feet, and these are in fact Jesse-sized feet.
So Jesse knocked it over. And turned to stone.
Wait, and there are no doors in the room?
Correct. There is an illusionary wall, looks to be magical, that appears to lead outwards. Had you been on the other side looking in, it would look like you could enter this room. You are unable to get out. You can see, poorly, but you can see in the distance where you had just been. And it's kind of directly across. So if you had just turned to the right and gone straight through, you would have ended up at this door. You can tell that just by looking out. However, as you try to pass anything through it, you can't. It's as if it were still made of stone.
Speak my name. We have to speak a name.
Just hang it out. There are the remains as well. There's the sword, chest that's knocked over, and then a chest that's kind of turned around just a little bit. And then
Is there anything in the chest that's knocked over?
You kind of peer
Context
inside.
filling out.
You kind of peer inside cautiously. You do see something in there. You see a pouch.
I'm sorry, see what?
A pouch.
Mage hand. I want to grab it.
You grab it. So your mage hand is now carrying a pouch. It's kind of dangling it in front of you.
I'm just gonna drop it on the floor, honestly.
Nothing happens.
Well, if I die... Oh, wait, I can't! I'm just gonna open it.
Okay. You're able to look inside, and Tarlin, you're kind of peeking over Aethelflaed's shoulder. Roll me an Arcana check, please.
Mm-hmm.
Aethelflaed, we'll say that you can roll one as well, since you're a half caster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have proficiency in it, so.
Okay. So Tarlin, nothing stands out to you. But Aethelflaed, you're kind of looking in there, and you realize that there's more space in there than there should be.
Oh.
And you've kind of heard that maybe people in the olden days, like there were legends of gnomes that had one bag for all their tools, and you're thinking maybe there was some credence to that. As you're kind of peeking in, you're like, man, I can fit so much stuff in here.
Interesting. She's gonna put her hand in and see what's in it, I guess.
You're able to pull out a very large greatsword.
Oh my god, how did that fit in there?
That's impossible.
Oh, the gnomes are so clever. I'm gonna stick my hand in again and pull something out.
You kind of move your, I would assume, skeletal hand.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of move, like, you just take your fucking skeleton hand and reach into this bag after pulling out a greatsword with it. And now you kind of reach in there and you pull out an apple.
Oh my god. Would I know what a bag of holding is? Or no?
I would say you're kind of piecing it together.
This is okay. This is cool, guys. What tools I can put? Hold on. She's gonna start putting her tools inside.
I would say, like, in your off time, one of your goals could be to just kind of fiddle around with it, study it, investigate it, try to get to the bottom of it. So you don't know, like,
I was gonna say,
what it. I mean, yes, it's a bag of holding just for the players. You have a bag of holding now. But
Yeah.
also as a DM, you guys would not, I think, have access to like the actual mechanics of the bag of holding, like that it's 4 feet wide, etc., or 2 feet. You know.
yeah,
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
explicit knowledge.
Yeah, it only holds 500 pounds. You wouldn't know that, but yeah, I mean, you're kind of piecing it together that you can just put a bunch of shit in there and take a bunch of shit out.
Hold on a second. Can I like insight check to see if maybe would Jesse fit in it?
So I've had to work out the logistics, and I do believe you could make that work.
If a great soul, I have an idea, guys.
So technically, since Jesse is currently petrified, he doesn't need to breathe. He could be in the
Correct.
bag of holding indefinitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I thought about that.
It mechanically
Yep.
speaking, yeah, it works. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Oh my god.
modern day
I'm
solution.
gonna like hold a sword up to him and
If
see if
first,
it's like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
is it as tall or taller than him?
Using the sword,
So-
the great sword as a measuring stick against Jesse to see if the great sword is
Oh
taller.
my
than
god.
I would say, obviously, you know, the wingspan is there. That's not superintended, right? But yeah, I mean, you could do it. It can open 4 feet wide, or 2 feet wide and 4 down. It's 2 by 4, one way or the other. So yeah, you can definitely do it. And
Well,
it holds up to 500 pounds, so you're good.
I am going to try something, guys. She's gonna stick the sword back in, and then after that, just like up, like you're putting a sack over somebody's head, like as a hood. She's just
then it
gonna,
just keeps going.
and yeah, just like throw it
Oh
over
my
his head,
gosh.
push it down to the ground, I
And
guess.
scoop up down to his feet.
Yes.
And he's gone. Like
Yes.
Tarlin, it just very, very like eyes slowly widening as this happens. Like,
Yeah, same.
and he's like he's looking at. He just looks over at Callisto, and you say I can do strange things, friend.
Yeah, I'm clearly dumbstruck at like all the magic I'm seeing.
I'm very curious. I guess this does work. Well, we have our friend now.
Arlen's that nerd that
In that
specialized
bag.
so hard in this thing that he doesn't know anything about the mechanics of these fucking bags of holding.
I think he's in there somewhere, I hope. I mean, there's a sword and an apple, and who knows what else.
And you can just pull him out of that bag whenever you need.
I think so? Should we try? I want to try to, like, shake the bag to get, Jesse back out.
I don't know the exact mechanics of it, but yeah, you can get Jesse out of there. I guess
Yeah,
like
basically you can
dump
put the
it
bag
over.
back on the ground.
Just dump him
Yeah,
on
like
the
put the
floor.
opening back on the ground.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll just take the bag upside down and just, like, give it a good shake to see if he'll just fall out. Maybe he
We don't
won't.
want him to fall out because he could break.
Oh, that's true.
And if he breaks, then we can't heal him.
Okay, well then, can I put my arm in and just, like, see if I can touch stone and, like, feel him?
Yeah. So as you think of Jesse and your intentions to retrieve Jesse, you can feel his little foot, stone little foot.
You guys! He's in there. I can feel his foot.
Unbelievable.
Uh,
Well then, I suppose we've done what we came for.
You done eating or are you still
How
eating?
do I get out?
Fun facts about older bags of holding: you used to be able to say depending on the volume and force with which you said the item, it would launch out of the bag at that force. So if you screamed out, if you screamed like Jesse out of the bag, it would launch him out of the bag like a cannon.
Oh, that's cool.
That's funny.
That was second edition. That was second edition.
Nice.
So you could do shit like there was a mechanic where you could basically put like 100 spears in a bag and just basically open it, yell spears, and launch them all out.
That's pretty cool. Like that
It's-
Korean like box with all the arrows in it that they launch at once
Yes.
back in the day.
Exactly. Yeah.
That'd be a sick build. Like instead of like a Eldritch Blast or a sword, you just have like weapons in a bag. That'd be fun.
Ha! Yeah, that would be cool. Just
Shoot
fire
Jack.
weapons.
And you're at
Yeah.
you're
Okay, so
better.
would you
You're
have-
better. You're. Oh my God.
No, sorry. So we do have the sword that you've kind of looked at. You can tell it's magical, but you haven't super gotten into the nitty gritty on that. And you can roll Arcana if you'd like. Then 3 unopened chests, and then we have the remains here at the Travelers. And those are kind of your 3 points of interest. Technically 5.
Are there any symbols on the chests?
You see no symbols.
Okay.
So the other 3 chests are just closed and they look basically untouched and unbothered.
Run that by me one more time. You said the chests look unbothered and untouched?
Yeah, the other 3.
Correct.
These bones behind Jesse, are they facing any particular chest?
Those remains are kind of scattered, which is interesting too. Tarlin, with that crit, we'll say that you did not determine any obvious injuries to any of these bones at all whatsoever.
Okay.
None of them, I mean, they're brittle, they're old, but you don't see where there's any like trauma to any of the bones. That's all you're able to really determine from that. A couple of odds and ends,
Okay.
trinkets and stuff. And then we've got your chest and your sword.
I'm thinking about the last bit of the puzzle. So, see no evil. I already covered up the skull that was on top of the chest because I was worried about that, even though it could just be random adventurer skull. And let's see. So, I weather the mountains, I wrinkle the face of time itself. The greatest vandal of all, leaving but a whisper, a trace. None can escape me, though many have tried. Speak my name or be forever denied. Um, I'm trying to think of basically. It sounds like a riddle, and I'm sitting here like thinking of various things. Like I already said time, and nothing happened. And I mean, wind is another thought that I had, but since time isn't,
You're not too far off.
Wrinkle the face of time, leaving but a whisper on a trace. None can escape it. Everyone's tried.
let's see, I said death, and that didn't work. Which is I got stuck on the none can escape it.
Your
many have
guesses aren't
tried.
far off. They're not quite the secret word. They're not far off. I would say that there are other ways you could gain more information, but they are not going to be something that could be searched for, given the fact you
Forever, eternity. I'm pulling out you say that I'm pulling out a thesaurus, sir.
By all means, you're
no,
not
I'm
far
kidding.
off.
I'm kidding. No,
there is a way that you guys could maybe suss out some extra information through means other than investigation, or you could roll a 1d die. It's up to you guys. But presently, there's no means of escape that you've been able to determine or discover, and you've not found anything that would help you beyond the riddle.
The riddle, and then we have these boxes in front of us.
I am kind of at a loss. I'm really not too sure which move is the best move here.
I'm trying to figure out the last bit of this riddle so that we can try and get the hell out of here. Rain is another thing I'm thinking. I'm thinking of actual like things that weather mountains as the starting clue.
Like rain.
Yeah, rain, winds.
Are you?
Yeah,
Are you guys? Do you guys have any spell slot visions?
I do.
Yeah.
I have quite a few.
Okay. Is there anything magical you guys could maybe wrestle with? You guys have done some crazy feats and things. You guys haven't.
I do not have. I mean, I don't have detect magic in my list,
Right.
and I don't have dispel magic.
Let's see.
Took all very flavorful things. Dang it!
Technically, you don't know if there's any.
I don't.
You're just in a room with things you're scared to touch.
Have we opened
That's
up
very
the
true.
What's that?
Have we opened up the other chests?
No, they
We
are
haven't
only-
opened up any of the chests.
Yeah, so the one that Jesse had knocked over was open. That's where the bag of holding was. There are 3 unopened chests. There's the skull that's now covered. Various human remains, some trinkets and baubles lying on the ground. Nothing true important. There is a sword that is of some magical nature that's laying on the ground still. So there's a lot of stuff you guys could interact with.
I
at
thought.
least, you know?
Oh, actually, I'd like to check out the sword that's on the ground.
Okay. If you want to roll Arcana for that, we'll see what's going on with that.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't. my brain associated the great sword that Aethelflaed had as that. So
I mean, I didn't mean to make Saw. Like, you guys are so scared to touch anything, which I guess we're dungeon delving. But you do have to do
I would
something.
like to play a game.
Yeah.
We like to play a game. Yeah, we're gonna roll a bunch of d20s until we feel satisfied that we've done as much as we can.
Hmm.
How
So
many
I'll say
ways can you describe the exact same room to us? No.
there's a torch. There's another torch.
There are two
These are of
There are
no import.
There are 2 torches. No, I only hit a 9 on the Arcana for the sword.
You can tell it's magical. You're not entirely certain why.
Yeah.
However, you do see some script in both arcane runes. They're located on the blade itself, and then on the hilt, you do see some elvish writing.
I speak
of-
Elven.
Oh, okay.
So do I.
Yeah.
So that's gonna say thistle. Fissel would be the common translation. Thistle. You think it's
Okay.
probably like a name, you would guess, but not the name of an
Okay.
elf.
I could
Just-
try to vortex warp somebody to the other side of the door. I mean, technically, I can see it.
You could.
Hmm.
Eh,
That's not a
you
bad
said that,
idea.
and I was like,
That's the only useful spell I
fissile
have.
as in nuclear material.
Thistle. Is that a nuclear thing?
Like fissile material. Yeah, FISSI. FISSILE. Yeah. Is able to undergo nuclear fission.
That's pretty cool.
So
It's just
yeah,
the first thing
that's-
that came. So if you would like to try to magic yourself on the other side, you're welcome to do so.
I'll do
I-
it twice. Then. So I would still be fucked.
What if all 3 of us open each chest at the same time?
Is that your final answer?
Surely nothing bad could happen to all 3 of us. One of us will make it out.
Yeah, what do we got to lose, right? 2 of us won't die.
God.
If there's only one correct answer, then one of us. Then
Is there
Does-
any
does-
indication on the chests themselves that like they have opened and closed frequently?
You don't see any indication of such.
Mm. Fuck, dude. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I can. I don't know. There's a way to get help from the outside, so.
Okay. Can the skull be moved? Is that a thing? Can we pick it up and relocate it?
You could.
Okay, maybe we should just like bundle it up and stick it in a corner somewhere.
Who's doing so?
I guess I will. So that we can at least start with something. I'm not going to like uncover it because I saw Tarlin was very careful about doing that, but like I will sort of try lifting it by the cloth to see if it can be moved from where it currently is.
As you touch this skull, you feel that tingle that you had felt previously in front of the ghost that had appeared. You don't have any time to react. And you see yourself surrounded by flowers of ethereal nature. You've seen these before. And standing before you, this horrifying form is Chimok. Ah, my choice. I sense so much desperation from you.
Yes, I've found myself in an unfortunate place, it seems.
Well, if only you had a friend.
And I say, I have made my deal with you. And my understanding is that when I complete our deal, that we're done with one another. Is this not the case?
He thinks for a moment. You don't seem to understand. Power does not come for free. You and I are eternal bedfellows.
Eternal what now?
Bedfellows.
Oh.
They're doing it forever.
Never and never.
It was the first thing that came to mind, but I was like, I don't know. Are we?
So
He's
this
like, what? He's like, what? You mean we're not?
so this horrifying like
Ooh.
undead god has basically like popped up in front of me
Correct.
or in a field of flowers.
As he has done once before, but yeah. And he's commenting on your desperation, Karen.
So why have you appeared before me now? Just to mock me?
Well, I was having so much fun with your friend. I didn't want you to feel left out. And, well, you're not quite of the spiritual nature. It takes a little more for me to have these conversations with you. They're so taxing, you see. But you're surrounded by death, and once you picked up this skull, I was able to channel myself into it. And now we can have a chat.
If this skull, this isn't your doing, is it?
No, certainly not, but I do welcome it. However, if it had my touch, it would be a bit more.
And Jeshi, I suppose his current state is insufficient.
I'm aware that he is currently of a less than mortal nature. I do require flesh. But you're so close. You can taste it. This is a great day for me. And it's a great day for you too. Because, well, here I am. A good friend. An eternal bedfellow. And I can maybe help you out of your predicament. You and your friend.
I'm not so sure I'm keen to accept your help. No more so than I have already done.
Okay, well, you can die of old age just like these other fools.
But if that happens, you won't get what you want.
I'll get what I want.
Yeah.
Am I able to infer when he says, I had so much fun with the other friend, that he is responsible for melting off Aethelflaed's arm?
Yeah, yeah, and Aethelflaed kind of outright said it basically. But this is more confirmation than anything. But yeah.
Oh, I see, okay. Then yes, I've seen what the benefits of your assistance truly are. I'm not so sure I'm keen on accepting more help for the time being. Perhaps, if I grow more desperate.
In due time. But I don't think you'll find a way to escape. Not before your bones waste away. And then you'll be mine. And then I'll find a way out.
So is he suggesting then that I can still die? But I'll essentially be ensnared at that point?
He's suggesting you already are ensnared, but that you do not currently possess immortality.
Hmm.
And that you are...
You haven't held up your part of the deal yet.
Correct.
Yes, she isn't dead.
And that you two are basically joined at the hip for all of eternity now. Till the end of time. So it's almost more for both. Just another thing on the list. But is there anything you would like to ask him or discuss? You've basically refused his bargain.
It just strikes me as exceedingly opportunistic of this fucking god to show up and say, hey, I notice you're stuck and need some help.
Doesn't take a dice roll to know that.
In a way, he's insinuating that there is a way out, though, too.
Mm-hmm. He is. I'm just not sure I believe that we need his help to get out of this quite yet.
Yeah.
Because we haven't really done anything. We've only just started, like, exploring this weird situation we're in.
Well, I mean, maybe he can come back later or something. Or, like, maybe you can make the deal later. I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps if I grow more desperate, Gramash. For now, I'll explore my options. And we'll see how true to your word you are that this place is truly inescapable.
See how long it takes you to die of old age. Farewell. And you are now back in this room. There are no flowers. There is no death god. Just your friends.
And there's a door behind these chests.
You've certainly investigated it. There's nothing back there that stands out. Presumably, you were in a room with 3 unopened chests, a sword, the remains of some people who died of old age, and then I can't remember if Jesse's statue's out or not, but I presume he is no longer in play.
Yeah. And we open the
No,
chest.
he's in the bag.
He's in the bag, yeah.
Can Aethelflaed make like a pickaxe out of that sword and we just mine our way through the wall?
You know, I
The
can
war will be over by then.
infuse it with.
So,
What if I...
Go on.
No, I was like, what if I got really big, but then I don't know if I would collapse the whole building.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna help.
Can I just rummage around in the... No, never mind, hold on.
What is Tarlin doing right
Let's see. So we basically watched Kalisto pick up the skull and this freeze for a second, or was that all like in the split second?
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Good question. He was just kind of standing there for a second. He didn't actually go anywhere. It's just all in his mind.
Yeah.
This is actually the first time I think you guys have really gone through that from an outside perspective. Usually you guys are all kind of having those scenes at once. So you don't really notice anything's off unless Philippe still wants to give that information.
Yeah, I'll sort of shake my head, like as I come out of this vision, and then I'll very quickly like reach up and touch my face, just to make sure I'm like still alive, and I'll sort of look with surprise at Tarlin and Nathal Flood, and I'll say, "Did you see that?
See
No.
what?
That thing, that god, it was just here." He says he has nothing to
We've
do
seen
with this
nothing
trap.
Hmm.
Oh, did you see it too?
I did.
We'll have all your flesh, though. Your arm's still there.
Well, I refused his offer. I don't know if we'll be able to get out of here without me having accepted it, but I'm reluctant to do so.
I mean, I could try to vortex you out of here, but then you two'd be out and I would be stuck.
So let's think about this situation. We still have the 4 things. Am I able to move the skull okay?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, nothing happens. You are able to move the skull, and it is still covered. You can put it wherever you'd like. You can do anything you'd like with it.
I
Because the moment you touched it, you kind of had a channel into old Shamash for a moment.
I'm going to tell Carlin about that Shamash mentioned that this skull like opened a way to communicate with him, which was weird. I don't know if it's because it's dead or because it's necromantic or what.
I still think neither of you should have anything to do with him.
I'm starting to agree with you.
Have that
Harlan
done.
is honestly like really focused on the clues. He's trying to parse out basically the end of the last bit of the puzzle, which is, you know, the thing that, you know. All right, sorry. Let me go actually to the text. Then I weather the mountains. I wrinkled the face of time itself, the greatest vandal of all, leaving but a whisper, a trace. None can escape me, though many have tried. Speak my name or be forever denied. Basically, we have to say something. There's a password at this point.
Is it
Mm-hmm.
age? Could it be?
Does Calixto say that out loud?
Yes.
Okay. So just as the weary travelers have presumably died of old age, you say the word age out loud, trying to, in a last-ditch effort, try to get yourself out of the room. Now, it's interesting that you did this after you refused to deal with a malevolent god. And instead of trying to take the easy way out, you sat there, you toiled, and you thought it out loud. Age. And as you say that, the chest in the middle, it's kind of on its side there, kind of tilted towards you guys. It hums faintly, and then Tarlin, you feel like this sort of ethereal, magical kind of release. And then it extends to the other chest, kind of glows, kind of hums, dissipates, and then the same with the other chest. It kind of piggybacks on each chest and goes slowly one by one. So you have seen this happen with all 3 of these chests after reciting it.
So now that we've said the word, all 3 of the chests, okay. I think at this point Tarlin is going to basically, just for safety purposes. All 3 of the chests have already glowed and stuff. Okay.
Oh, that triggered
I think
something.
Tarlin's going to go ahead and take a step forward and try and touch one and open it.
Yes,
Which one would you like to open?
I will take a step backward.
What's that?
I'm gonna move away as you move up.
Well, you said you asked me which one I would like to open.
Yeah. Do you have a preference?
Um, I think it would have been the first one, and I'll go ahead and before I touch it, I'll say age as well, just to make sure. I don't, since I wasn't sure. I'm not my character knowing that magic is very finicky and intricate and everything. He knows that even though Kalisto said something, it wouldn't necessarily also extend to him unless he said the word too.
Okay.
He doesn't know if it would or not, so he's going to say, age as well, and then, touch, try and attempt to open the first one that glowed.
Okay, pop it open. I need everyone to roll a D100.
Why are we all saying age?
It seems to be
It's
the
a
password.
password,
Well, he already said it.
but we don't. I got a 1. Oh, wait, no, it rolled weird. I think because I put a slash at the end. I don't
think
know.
it did.
Yeah, that it didn't actually roll the first time. That was weird.
Okay. So in this particular chest, you see a pair of goggles. As you kind of examine them and look through them, you can see that everything is well lit. And you can see even further in the shadows than you could before. These are
Dark
goggles.
vision goggles.
Correct, Mundo. Grants the wearer dark vision out of a range of 60 feet. If you already have dark vision, it extends by another 60 feet.
All these chips earlier.
So you see that set of goggles. If you're kind of experimenting, you figure out that even Aethelflid, who has dark vision, I believe, can see even further in the shadows. So that is what you find in
Nice.
the chest.
All right. So yeah, I guess lift out this. So we've got these goggles.
Two more chests.
Shall we check the other test? Yes.
I suppose if it's safe.
It's not like we have anything else to do.
Stand behind Kalisto as he opens this different chest.
Very cautiously open one.
You open this chest, and the first thing you see is a pair of black gloves.
They strangle you. No, no.
Roll initiative.
Oh my god. We actually roll it?
No.
Okay.
And then you see a pair of so you see a pair of black gloves at first, and then next to that set of black gloves, you see these big, gaudy bracers made of metal. Both of them, Tarlin, it doesn't take a roll. You can tell if they are magical just by inferring and by kind of examining these. This set, the metal set, is Gauntlets of Ogre Power. Grants the wearer a strength score of 19.
Holy shit. Let's
Damn.
go.
You know, if Wait,
yeah.
what? Hey, Kalisto, what's your strength right now?
Not great actually. I think it's like 13.
Okay.
14.
Wow.
Okay.
These could also be really good on Aethelfled too, though.
Why should
I was gonna say, if you put them on me, I go from an 8 to an 18.
Jesus Christ.
19 technically.
Just all be melee
But
characters.
basically.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, there's more. The
Smith has its uses.
the gloves have a symbol on them, and Aethelfled, as you kind of examine these black gloves, there's a piece of you returning, and it's odd because it's not your memory; it's somebody else's memory. But you see somebody putting on these gloves. They're wearing leather armor. See, and this person kind of get a first person view of this individual kind of walking around in the shadows for a moment. And then they get to a locked door and they pick it and then open the door inside. It's a memory that shouldn't exist, but upon gazing at these gloves here, kind of get that memory. These are gloves of thievery. Um, when you wear them or anyone wears them, you get a +5 bonus to sleight of hand checks and dexterity checks made to pick locks. And it is worth mentioning the Gauntlets of Ogre Power require attunement. These gloves do not.
That was weird.
One more time? What are these gloves do?
The Gauntlets of Ogre Power or the other ones?
Or sorry, the thievery ones.
+5 bonuses sleight of hand checks and dex checks made to pick locks.
That's pretty slick.
Mm-hmm. And Aethelflid, you're able to suss out this belonged to somebody, most likely the king that you kind of dominated with your weird skeletal hand. Probably belonged to that person at some point. But those are the 3 things you found so far. There is another chest left.
I guess I'll open it.
Okay. There are a couple of very notable things in here. This is the creme de la creme of these chests. You see a stone. It has kind of like a symbol of a stag that's kind of engraved into it. And as you pick it up, it fills you with this sense of peace that you haven't really felt since you were in that old, decrepit pantheon sort of area where those god statues were a little shrine from one of our very first sessions. You get this odd sense about you as you kind of look in there and kind of fiddle with it. This is a luck stone. It requires attunement. Grants a +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws. So the party has that. And
It
then
grants
there is
what? I'm sorry.
+1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws.
Okay.
And then next to it are 2 items. One is a pouch. It's unopened presently. And the other one is this beautiful scepter, and it's covered in jewels and chains kind of linked around it.
That's gotta be some kind of magic item, like some kind of crazy like spell, like a spell scepter or something.
All right.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go for it.
We'll roll an Arcana check. See
Well,
if I can.
I think we know basically everything about it. It's grants a +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws. It does require
Oh, for the scepter?
Oh, the scepter. My bad.
Yeah.
That is not what. Sorry, that's not what the scepter does.
No worries. I just wanted to check. I was like, wait a second. I thought that was the stone.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I looked that up. I looked up the luck stone. The artwork on it is cool. It's like a little cat.
It's really cool.
Like, yeah.
It's
but I like yours better. Yours sounds cool. Yours sounds better.
Hey.
Than that.
Well, you guys get one of those too. But yeah, go ahead and roll Arcana at advantage.
All right. Let's see. 16.
So 16.
Ugh, gross.
Okay. So Tarlin, have you touched this as you're kind of inspecting it, doing Arcana?
Well, Aethelfled opened the chest, so I don't want to like just reach over her shoulder and be like, "Oh yeah, let me look at this."
Our father like
so
take it out and hand it to him since he was curious to
Yeah.
look.
if that's it, then yeah, if that's the case, then yes, then yeah, I would.
So as you touch it, your mind is filled with this strange sense that you're being watched as you touch it.
Mm, okay.
Um, and you're kind of holding it for a moment. Nothing happens. Um, you kind of get a funny feeling. Something is kind of watching you.
Okay.
Uh, you examine the scepter, and it feels like you've held it before. As you kind of study it. That's odd because you've never seen this before in your life.
Yeah.
But there's something about it that makes you think you know what this is and what it does. And you know that it can send you to places. All you have to do is think about that place.
Oh snap!
Oh.
Freedom.
Okay. That's the case. And be like, um, have we gathered everything? I don't think any of us looked at the pouch. There's a pouch in the
There's a
chest, in
pouch.
your chest
Mhm.
too, Aethel Flynn. I wonder what's in the pouch, but
She's probably gonna open that later.
open it later. Dope. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. That Tarlin is holding this staff and says, "I believe I will just need to will us as strongly as I can to back to Vogler, and we shall return." But he holds out his hand to everybody and be like, make sure we're all together. He wants to
Yeah.
make sure he doesn't none of them get. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll say before any of that happens, you grab that bag. It was pretty obvious kind of by looking at it, but I didn't tell you that part. It looks like a gem bag, and it's
Okay.
1,200 gold worth of
Yeah.
gems.
Good God.
We'll say April Fluid will inspect it later if that's how much it'll be. But yeah, so you kind of
Yeah.
gather everyone around, and you are thinking of Vogler. You want to go to Vogler?
Yes. Yes, I would like to go back to Vogler.
So the part of you that feels like this is familiar in some way knows that you have to recite the last words of the oh sorry, I lost it. My apologies, 1 second. You have to
This
recite
is
some
makes
words.
working on shit so much easier. You could teleport across battlefields and fix things and teleport and fix things.
But we'll say that you just well, let me look. I'm sorry. I thought I had them right.
How dare you?
Damn, you could teleport to the top of shit and just like work on things. You don't even have to walk or climb anymore.
I know, right? I'm honestly sitting here thinking of the D&D movie, the Hither Thither Staff.
I feel like you want it. You want it. Although it would be handy. Because you're the magic person.
It's true. Perhaps maybe best for me to hold on to this for now until we gain a greater understanding.
Okay, my apologies. So these are the words. If you want to repeat, you can. Otherwise, we can say that you said these. But those are in chat right there.
Thy time is thy own. Though across it you travel, its expanses you see whirling across forever. Obstruct not its flow, grasp firmly the end and the beginning. Turn them forward upon themselves. All that is loose shall be secure. Destiny is over your own head.
And as you say, all of you feel this whoosh sensation, much like you had previously when you've kind of zipped around this dungeon and even how you got to this dungeon. But this one feels far more powerful, like you're being propelled through time and space. Feels like there's a black hole in front of you. Everything around you feels warped. And then, suddenly, let's all head on back to roll 20. you find yourself in a familiar place. You've managed to find Jesse, who is now a statue, but still found him. And then you found Faraday. You were able to survive, get a bunch of loot, and now we're back in.
Or were declared.
There we go. Okay, so we're back in Vogue. And you're standing at the docks, and it's incredibly quiet. And you're kind of looking around, and you don't see anyone. And you see structures that appear to be new, and some that are no longer.
What do these new structures look like?
Just buildings that would have taken a long time to create that hadn't previously been built.
Uh-oh.
You just hear birds. And from what you can tell, the city is completely vacated. You don't see anyone. You just hear birds chirping in the background.
Is the fort still half crumbly?
It's actually quite improved. Good question. So as you look over, you can see Gnomeslinger. And you can see improvements have been made to it that you knew couldn't possibly have taken place in one day.
Well, yeah. With her best guess of judgment, knowing how long certain things take to build and whatever the amount of manpower required, how long would possibly were they gone for? Like, how long would it have taken to do something like that, to pull that off?
At least months.
What? That doesn't make sense. That would take
If-
months to finish.
With a concerted effort, months. With enough people, maybe faster.
I mean, she's gonna look around at the rest of the town. How
It can't be.
long were we gone for?
These structures couldn't possibly have been built overnight.
No, they take at least months. Possibly more, but everyone in town would have had to gather to make it. It still wouldn't have been a day.
What time?
We fled.
What time was it when we entered the mine? Like, what time of day, roughly? Weren't we only in there for a few hours? Maybe a night or two?
There should
Tops?
still be people vacating. Yes. What?
I don't think we ever rested. Yeah, we were only in there for like a few hours.
Well, not more than a day. And like the city was in the process of being attacked, and everyone was trying to get out, and ships were going away. Like there wouldn't be nobody already.
Yeah, that is very sus. Are there any signs of conflict? Destroyed anything? Rooftops or rubble?
New buildings.
No, it
I
looks
definitely
to be,
don't want to like shout out to call attention or anything. I'm just like, man, this is the fact that there's no people anywhere is like really sus.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what like makes Tarlin really nervous as he's like looking around the town. He's trying to find the signs of life, you know, the Okay, I guess what time of day would it be? Is it like early morning or can we tell?
the sun is starting to set.
Starting to set? Yeah, if the sun's starting to set, the town should still be alive and active right now. Like there's no way it would be dead quiet. unless no one were here.
And as you say that, you see directly in front of you, running towards you, panic on the face of two draconians. They're running for their lives. And then as you look behind them, you see 20 skeletons running behind them. And that's where we end tonight's session.
Interesting, interesting.
Wait, dragons are running from skeletons?
It seems like
That's
it.
what he said.
The undead have them on the run.
Mm-hmm.